Hey y'all, so this is going to be a video about the opportunities in sales pipeline as well as automations in Go High Level for your remote cleaning business or any service business. Right now we're in a client's account, Elevate Clean Pro. They got the $97 a month for their WordPress website as well as the CRM here. But as with any software, it can be kind of confusing when you're using the features for the first time. So the main thing is like opportunities and automations. I think Go High Level is probably the best software, especially when you're just starting out, for these reasons, for this automation. But we're gonna go through some of his custom needs for the automation, and he was kind enough to let me record it. So first things first, in the opportunities pipeline, this is where all of your leads are gonna go. So I'm gonna go through this as if you've never seen this system before, but the pipeline, that's all it is, seeing where your leads are coming from and at what stage they are until they close, right? So when I generally have this set up, at first it's gonna have separate lead sources, so I can track the numbers, but Demead would prefer that this is all into one sales pipeline. So this is how we're gonna create it. Come up here to pipelines, and then let me move myself out the way, do create pipeline, and just name it whatever you want. This is kind of like a tutorial sort of thing. So if you've already used this, you've seen it, it could be kind of beginner for you, but it's good information. So qualified, needs quote. And so what I'm doing here is just creating the different stages that the lead will go into, right? So there's the 4, and then you just add a stage, right? You just have to add a stage, go like that, click it again, type it in, booked, paying client. So I'm just going off of exactly what he's looking for in this pipeline stage, and then we'll build some automations based off of each of these stages as well. And interested, lost. Okay. These probabilities, honestly, I'm not really sure. This is like a new feature, so I wouldn't worry about that if you're using this. And something I also like to do is just add emojis in these stages, but you can do like different colors as well. Green, maybe booked, blue, something like that, or no color, just to kind of keep track. All right, so we got the main sales pipeline, and then he wants all his new leads to come into here. Right now he's using a mix of like Google pay-per-click, meta ads, Yelp leads, organic leads. The Yelp leads, you can bring them in from Zapier. That's like a purely Zapier automation to just grab them from there. Organic, he would probably have to add them in himself, unless he was doing, for example, using the Go High Level number, people are just calling type of thing, you can add them from there. But I believe he's using Quo initially, so you would just have to add them in or tag them to put into there. So that's like a workflow we can do right now. Actually, let me show you. Show it like this. So that's like an example of a workflow we can do right now if it's an organic lead. So we'll just start from scratch, just try to get right into these automations here. So once he adds a contact to the system, right, we can do, we'll do new lead, new organic lead, opportunity, opportunity. We'll go like that. So the new organic lead opportunity, what he'll do is add the contact into Go High Level. If he's using Quo, he can use Zapier as well. A lot of this stuff you can limit, but I just wanted to show manually. You go into trigger here, and we'll just do it based off of the tag. So if you're not familiar with automations, the trigger is what's gonna start this automation, and then the actions that we see right here, this little plus sign, that's what's gonna take place. So when you're thinking about building out your automation, just think about like how you want it to start, what do you want to have in the beginning, in the middle of it, and then what's the goal at the end. So we want to add a tag, right? So contact tag, you can name it as well. We'll do tag added. And then we could see here, he has a couple different ones like Quo lead. So let's just call it Quo lead. If he puts Quo lead on a new contact, we now want to, we'll do opportunity, create and update opportunity. We're gonna click that main sales pipeline, and they're gonna become a new lead in that pipeline stage. Okay, This opportunity source, we'll leave it empty because we don't want it to erase where they're coming from. The opportunity name, we can do custom value, so it's going to pull from that contact. So for example, if we come into here, you click that little tag, you go to contact, and then let's say he already has their full name there. We can do contact full name, and that way it's going to show up as their full name on the opportunity list. So we'll go save action. And then now he has organic lead as a new lead here. We can build off of this. We can send text messages right after they become a new lead in the CRM, but we'll just leave it like that. And then we're going to remove from this workflow, so it's still clean. All right, I'm gonna save that. Save this. Okay. Now I just want to show again. So the triggers, there are a ton of them that can happen. You know, it just depends on what happens. So you can start an automation based off of the contact tag, like you just demonstrated, or a note is added, a task is created. It could be when a customer replies to your text message, or once they fill out a form submission, Facebook lead form submitted. That's mainly for your meta ads. Even from TikTok form submitted. You can see it just goes on forever. Like when opportunity changes stage, the pipeline stage change, and I'll show you some automations from that. But let's go from now. And then the actions, you can do even more than that. So let me move along here and get down to the main workflow we want to create, which is a new lead follow-up system. Okay. So I already have new meta. When a new meta lead comes in, this is the automation. Also have the Google pay-per-click automations, but again, he wants it all into one pipeline. So we'll do that. Let's just create that master new lead follow-up from scratch, and we'll see how fast I can do this. So, all right, the trigger for this. All right, new lead, 14-day follow-up. Let's call it. Okay. And I would also label this, like, depending, you might have saw the folders I have. You can label it like 1A, and that way it's just more organized in there. So, okay, new lead, attempted to contact, this is a follow-up sequence. So as you can imagine, the first trigger is when we have a new lead in that pipeline, Pipple pipeline, here we go. So pipeline stage, we're going to select in pipeline, main sales pipeline, right? And then the stage. So we're in that pipeline, and now we're going to select the actual stage here. Hold on. Pipeline stage. It's going to be a new lead. So when there's a new lead in that main sales pipeline, this is going to trigger. Now, with that automation I just created, this will trigger because we're adding them to that pipeline stage. So I'm going to pause that after this just in case, but you can get the gist of how all this can flow together. So first things first, immediately, right? This is, I'm not sure how clear that is, but immediately when we set this up, we want an SMS to go out. So Go High Level has the SMS. You have to get, two-factor authentication, or sorry, A2P registration and all that. It's usually, people have trouble with it, but it's really from like the website and stuff like that. But this is how we're going to build it out, right? So hi, and then custom values. Always use custom values. That way the messages are always personalized to each content. And you say, this is LA Clean Pro. Let me see if I can't just copy this right here. All right, cool. Okay, this is LA Clean Pro. I saw your cleaning requests and can help with a quick quote. What type of cleaning you're looking for, and what city is your home in? So that is the initial text that he wants to go out. We're gonna save that. He also wants an email to go out. So you just type in email. The from name, just put, your name and your company name. This is just like creating an email. Let's say, let's see what his email is. Right. Okay, let's just see what his, let's just say, for example, elevatecleanpro@gmail.com. And then the subject will be new cleaning quote requested, something like that. Cleaning quote requested. And we can even put the contact's first name in there or full name so they can kind of see that. And then we'll say here pretty much the same thing. Might as well, right? Same thing. We'll just make it in that kind of email format. All right. Best regards. And then his phone number, whatever that might be. All right, this is just an example right now. So, okay. So we created that, and then also an internal alert. So the cool thing about the software is that you'll have internal notifications to alert you, your team, when anything happens. And you can have all these different type of notifications, like email notification here is like on your phone, and then SMS, of course, is a text. So we'll just do the phone, mobile phone notification. New lead pipeline. And then we'll say their name, go to emoji copy. So come back here. All right, cool. Newly go call. We'll do that. So yeah, you can type in this with the mobile app notification. You can't really see this message, I'll say. It's really just the title and that you get a notification. So we'll just redirect it to the conversation. So when you click on that notification, that's where it's going. And then all users in the organization is gonna get notified on their phone. Okay. And I always recommend just saving things as you go along. You don't wanna lose all this. But yeah, now that we have the first initial thing, they come into the new lead, they get a text, they get an email, and the whole team is being notified. He also wants a 5-minute task later to call. So we'll put like a little wait time here. You can do a wait time based off of a period time, or if something else happens. So we'll do 5 minutes. Okay, wait 5 minutes. It's good to name these things so you can keep track. And then we'll do a task, add task. And so this task is gonna also kind of like a notification. It's gonna show up to all of your team members that you have to call them and call them to book, right? And we'll assign it to contacts assigned user. We'll do the date, and it's gonna be due like a day later. All right, cool. Number 1, add task, add call task. Okay, cool. So we did all the initial automations and the follow-up, kind of getting the team prepared. Now what we can do is start branching out the automation based off of how this lead reacts. So let's do a wait period here. And then this time we're gonna do until the contact replies. So you're gonna click that. And we wanna see if they reply to the SMS or the initial email. And just a quick tip here while you're doing these kind of things, just do like SMS number 1, right? Email number 1. And that way when you're trying to do this like wait for a reply, you can see it shows up as SMS and email. Now the next step is the timeout. So how long are we gonna wait for? Let's say we wait for reply 1 day. If they don't reply, that's when it's gonna trigger the next sequence in this. So we'll do timeout a day. So we're saying a day from when the lead comes in, it's gonna send out this new step here. So they're gonna come down to the right if they don't reply after a day. And then if they do reply, we have them here in the left. So let's just run through here real quick. If they do reply, we want to update their opportunity. At least this is what I recommend, right? So let's update their opportunity in the main sales pipeline, and come to here. We don't have like a follow-up or anything like that, or like a warm lead. So I would probably add a stage that says warm lead, but let's say qualified needs quote, for example, and we'll just keep this empty, like their name, for example, full name, cool, as well as their source will stay empty and they're still open. So now when they do reply, it's going to update them to needs quote opportunity, right? That's a hot lead. Okay, they're engaging. And when they do that, I typically recommend just notifying lead responded to nurture sequence. Okay, and I'll put their name there. This is also going to bring to the conversation so they can see what that message is. Something you can do pretty cool here, again, when it's the internal notification like this on your mobile app, you don't really get to see it, but let's say if you did text message or email, you would actually be able to see what's in the message you leave yourself. But let's say like lead responded, just so if you or your team members are seeing this notification, you can see like exactly what they're saying. You would come into here, their custom values. Custom values are amazing. So you come into here and just click message body, and this is going to be the last message they sent will show up here. It's going to pull it from that conversation and let you know. Okay, cool. So we're going to add them there, and maybe we do another wait, right? Like we keep them here in this pipeline until a certain situation. For me, that certain situation would be maybe they come into the booked pipeline of your CRM. So let me see here, contact details, their standard fields. Yeah, so maybe they stay in this pipeline until a certain condition is met. Instead, this way you guys can keep track of the leads you have in this kind of section. And like, let's say we do the standard fields of a tag. So it'll wait until they get tagged as booked. And once they get tagged as booked, we can remove them from this workflow. We'll remove from this all workflows, right? Once they're booked, they don't need to be in workflows right now. Sorry, let's just we remove them from this current workflow. All right, cool. So yeah, this next step, I'm trying to speed this along too. Obviously it's getting a long time. Okay, let's continue building out this sequence. So the next thing he wants is a text message to go out, right? So this text message is just like, hey, just following up on your cleaning request right here. And then just kind of checking in. So automatically this is going out if they don't respond after a day. Okay, we'll go like that. And then day 2, we'll send an email. So now we can do a wait period. As you guys know, we'll do wait until user replies. And then it's going to be this text SMS, this SMS. Hold on. Text, okay. So now we'll do a wait period when this contact replies. So we'll see right here, they reply to SMS2. We're gonna time it out for a day. All right. Now at this stage here, if they did reply within that second day there, we can just do a go to. So we don't have to continuously keep repeating this side of the automation. We just do go to, and then now we can just run all those leads right up to the top here once that's finished. Because as you can tell, anytime they reply, this is the sequence we want to happen. So it's not necessary to keep building it out. So we'll just do a go to. Okay, right here, time, email. All right, we're gonna send email. I want to show you another action that I would recommend trying as well. So he wants the subject to be this. Sorry, go like that. From name. So Elevate Clean Pro. So there is something else I would recommend doing. I already have this set up. So if you did get Go High Level from my affiliate link or even through Zadap CRM, I have something set up in here, like my snapshot, all the automations. And these right here are custom values for your account. So instead of having to write his name and the company name every time, we would just go like this, company owner name, and then the company name itself. So it'll show up as Demid Elevate Clean Pro. Okay. The from email right here, same thing. We can come down to here. I apologize if I go kind of fast if you're looking at it, but we go to the from email and then we just do company from email, right? Just like that. Okay. And then short reminder to elevate. Okay. So, just like, again, hey, use those custom values. Would you still like to get a quote for your for your deep cleaning and we could do something like, let's say you get their address, something like that. And you can even do a custom value for their cleaning. So the way these custom values are really powerful is if you're getting leads from Facebook, you're getting leads from Google, when they fill out that form, you can have different fields for them to fill out. So like what type of cleaning they want. If they put in what type of cleaning they want there based off of your options, you can do something like, for example, I have one set up. You come down to here. So you're in the custom values, you're in the contact section. You come to custom fields. Okay. And then you can do type of cleaning service, for example. And then now it's going to pull from their database, just like their first name, what type of cleaning that they filled out with on there. So now you can build out these a lot more personalized, as I mentioned before. So we'll just do that for the sake of time. Email, and then he wants day 14. Set period of time. We're going to do again, contact replies to email. All right, don't forget, this can get pretty confusing, so make sure you fill that out. Email, go right here, and then now this is gonna be 2 days later. So he wants 4 days. Again, we'll do the go to. Something you can do to kind of make things faster is also copy the actions that you've done before. So you can go to a certain action you want, you come right here and copy it. It looks like you can't do it for the go-to, but you'll see here, I'm gonna set out the way. You can copy all these actions or copy all the actions from here, which will be all the branches, or move them around. So you don't always have to recreate it, is what I'm trying to say. So we'll do the go-to, and then we just like click and drag, click up here. So if they do reply to that email, boom, they go right back up there. And then otherwise they're gonna come here and we'll send an SMS like this. Okay, and then copy. Okay, and then again from here, just so we can like remind them who we are, we come down into here, our own custom values, owner name, and the company name as well. And just go like that. Okay, that's the third text. So as you can see, this is really, really powerful. It doesn't matter what level of business you're at, you need follow-up sequences. You can see now this company is going to have follow-ups for days without having to touch it. Even if these leads don't respond, it's all good. It's bound to happen, but they're going to get hit with messages for the next 14 days. And you're going to increase the chance of actually landing them because of that. So we have that third text. We'll create another call task. Okay. About 2 days after is what he's looking for. So I don't want to keep having to create the wait and do all that stuff. Like, we know this is going to be waiting 2 days. So if I can see the interval that I want is about 2 days each time, I'll just do this. I'm gonna copy all the actions from here. I'm gonna paste it down here. And now we're gonna wait, okay? The only thing you need to do though is come back into this new wait action here, right? And then just make sure that we're basing this off of the third SMS. We wanna make sure it triggers based off of if they reply to this text message. All right, so we don't mess things up. And then this, we're just gonna like delete it. You know, you can do it like that. Those little 3 dots, we'll create another call task. Okay, we'll call them a cold lead. Okay. All right, we'll just do assign to the contacts, assign user, and we'll just say it's due within a day. Call them up. Okay, cool. We're almost finished with this one, and then I would love to move on to this second workflow because this one's gonna be cool. We're gonna create a custom field there. So if you're bearing with me this far, appreciate it, man. We're getting through it. So I know this is a long video already, probably one of the longest I've made. All right. Now, again, we're gonna do the day 7. Let's copy all these actions. Right, paste it down here. You can see that by copying it, that go to is already going up to where we want it to go, up there. And then down here, what we're doing, we're gonna change this to 1 day because he wants it on day 7. So we'll just do 1 day. Okay. And instead of a call task, we're gonna do an email. So you can delete it like that too in the bottom left. Go to email. And again, so we don't have to recreate the email. We can come up to an email we've already done like this and just copy that action, the singular one, right? Not all actions, just this one. And then we'll come back down and paste it. This way we don't have to like fill out the from name, from email every single time. We'll just change the subject. So, quick follow-up on your cleaning request. And then what we'll do is just we'll just come back to it. I'm just gonna make a note. I think it was email 3. Change message. For the sake of time, come back. Okay, clicking in one more time. Checking in one more time, I should say. All right, we'll do the SMS and then the text message. Okay. So that's day 3. So this is now, we're gonna wait 3 days after that. After this email went out, and we're going to delete this one, send SMS. Now Go High Level kind of knows what automations we're doing, so it's just kind of like telling us which ones to grab. Go here, copy, checking in, cool. All of these, it's totally customizable, so I think right now is mainly get the structure down, and we can always revisit this. Okay. All right. Now we just built out closeout message, so we don't keep bothering them. Let's say. Okay, for the email, the SMS is pretty easy to do that, but yeah, we're gonna go like that. And you can also create templates. You can add an attachment in here. I would say as just like a tip, as one of these SMS to go out, these follow-ups, I wouldn't just keep texting them. I would actually add an attachment like our checklist or some sort of branded material where they can learn a little bit more about your company. Maybe redirect them to your Google reviews, redirect them to your Instagram, anything else rather than just like, hey, just checking in. Just give them something, tell them something about your company, how many reviews you got, you're insured, you bring the same team, maybe like ask him a question. So for example, here I might say, hey, is this contact first name, and you requested a deep cleaning in Sacramento, right? Like challenge them to respond and create that conversation. So that's what I would recommend to make these kind of follows better. But let's just throw in that one email here. Okay, right here, copy action, boom. And then this is like the last email, I believe, email number 4. All right, man, this is exciting. So we right now, I'm not gonna publish it, it needs to be changed. But let's zoom out for a second and just see here. We have a 14-day follow-up sequence. Demid here will literally not have to touch this new lead if he doesn't want to. Now, once they come in to this pipeline, they're being followed up for 14 days. 14 days. He's getting notified. His team's getting tasked to call them. I mean, and that's going to be done all on autopilot. So pretty awesome. This is honestly like the best automation I think you need to set up. Having it already, like if you got my thing, I already have the meta ad set up, and you can see these are like, this is pretty much the main structure I do and I recommend here. Okay. The other way, just as a little tidbit, the other way I would make this better towards the end here is, okay, we went through this whole process, right? And at the end, let's say they don't respond again. Okay. They don't respond to this last thing and either one of these. Sorry. Okay, so just as a little tidbit, if you want to make this even better, you can add a last kind of wait stage here to make sure that we don't just like let this lead kind of sit there forever. Let's put them into a long-term nurturing sequence at the end of this, and this is kind of how you can flow the automations together. So let's say at the end of this, we decide to update the contact, right? Update their opportunity instead to now in the main sales pipeline. And like, let's say we put them in long-term nurture. So in this instance, what would happen is they go into the long-term nurture, and then we can set up another automation where the trigger is new contacts that are going into the long-term nurture pipeline. It sets off a whole nother long-term sequence. Email marketing is probably the easiest one to do, or just like a text every 2 weeks. You can just have it go through and just have that run for months on end, and just hit them up. You know what I mean? Keep talking to them. And like I said, actually try to provide value rather than just seeing if they still need it done, right? So we'll just say like update contact contact long-term nurture. The other way you can do this is just sending them straight into the long-term nurture. So you can do add to workflow as an action, and send them to any of the workflows that you have. Okay. This other part of the follow-up I would recommend is you can do a voicemail drop. So let's say you do the text, email, you have an internal notification. Man, you can blow these people up. You come into here as an action and you go voicemail. Okay. Record a voicemail on your phone. You attach it to this, and then now their phone is going to ring 2 times. They're going to get 2 missed calls on their phone and your voicemail, as well as a text, as well as an email. So you just hit them with everything. You can do that even down the line as well to kind of reactivate them. But that's just another kind of action you can do here in Go High Level. All right, man. So we got that follow up there. The next one is the quote sent through BookingKoala. So this one's gonna be interesting. So I'm coming into here, and what I want to do is create a new custom field for the BookingKoala quote link, because part of his workflow he would like is to send a simple reminder with the quote link and details. But if you're doing everything from BookingKoala, you're not going to be able to just like grab the link, but there is a way to do it. So what we're going to do is create this custom field, and we were just working with all that, right? So this is how you create a custom field and then use it as a custom value in your automations. So we'll come into here, we'll do create field. Okay. And we'll just leave it as a single line. You have multiple different types. This is what you do when you're setting up your meta ads as well, or your Google pay-per-click. You can create the custom fields and whatever data you want to collect on people. That's essentially it. Okay, so the field name, we're gonna do BookingKoala quote link. Okay, we're gonna add it to their contact. And then the folder name is which folder. So the contact is like their name, email, phone number, the really pertinent stuff. General info is like their address. Additional could be what kind of pets they have in the home, and like their gate code, right? And then home info is same thing. So you can create folders about the data you want to have on people and organize it however you want. So let's just say we're gonna throw this in the contact because it's like pertinent info for them, their quote link. Okay. So we'll do that. We'll create custom field. So now we have it right here, and we're gonna need to use that in a few minutes here. So let's come over here. All right, we're going to operations. I think I made the other one in advertising lead management, but let's do the operations right now. And then we'll do quote sent. Make a new one here. All right, BookingKoala quote sent, follow up. So this, what's gonna happen here is it's also gonna be triggered off of the pipeline. I think I would recommend to base a lot of your automations off of you dragging and dropping these leads into the pipeline. And let me just show you, because I don't think I illustrated that freaking 40 minutes into this. But you come into your opportunities, and let's say meta ads. So you can see here, he has some leads here. Whenever you can drag and drop them across here on your mobile app as well, changing the stage. So now we're basing the automations off of where they're going. Like for example, if we drag them all the way over to converted, maybe it sends them like, thank you for booking type of automation, or we do a not converted, right? We send them into a not converted like that, and then boom, it's gonna throw them into the automation that in a month from now is gonna send them a $50 discount code or something to try to reactivate them. So that's exactly how these pipelines work, right? So let's roll back into this automation here, do operations. And even though I'm creating it here, I can also just move it across whatever folder, okay? You can move it across a folder, you can duplicate it, whatever you need to do, rename it. So we'll start here. And again, the trigger is based off of the pipeline. Update, pipeline stage. In the pipeline, main sales pipeline. And then we'll click pipeline stage here. And we'll hit quote sent. All right. So again, once we drag it into quote sent, this is getting triggered, okay? So first thing, we want an SMS text. Okay. Pro tip, with Go High Level, you do have a usage fee. So I would keep like your automated messages just short and sweet. You could use emojis, but it's gonna be more expensive, okay? That's why I think Quo is better as a communicator, but just like an all-in-one system to get started, this is awesome. All right, and it's not that much. I think it's like a penny per text, so it's not gonna kill you. All right, so this is the first thing that's gonna go out. He drags them over to quote sent. This text is going out, okay? Let me know if you have any questions or want help choosing the best option. Maybe put a little exclamation mark, but we'll keep it that professional period, all right? And then we're kind of building out the whole wait situation again. So I will probably we'll go like that, right? Okay, don't forget to add the timeout. That's what's gonna create that branching situation. And we'll do after a day. What I really want to do is get down to that part where I'm showing you the custom link. So, okay, we'll do that. I'm going to fast forward because I'm essentially building out the same sort of follow-up, and I want to get to the point where we can do the custom field with a quote link and then show you what that looks like. So I'm going to pause right here. All right, so I just recreated the whole automation again, pretty much the same structure as before, but for this quote link. And then now let's get to the good part, which is sending out that BookingKoala link automatically with the form field we did. So right here, we can enter in quote link, or I like to tell people booking confirmation link, is usually what I say. And then you can come into here and we'll do the custom value. Now this custom value will be based on the contact. And it's not going to be one of these ones. You actually have the key coming down to more custom fields, right? What we created. And then we'll look up BookingKoala quote link. And so now that will go here. And I'm going to show you what that looks like and then demonstrate how it appears to people. It's really cool. So I'll do this as like a test SMS. Yo, book your cleaning here, foo. And then we'll do contact again, come down here, custom fields, come up, BookingKoala quote link. Just a test, we'll delete that in a second. So now there has to be the quote link in that contact for this to even work. So let me create the contact here and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just created a test contact here, and then in the fields here, you have all fields. Remember, we put that custom field in the contact section, so it'll be down here. This is something you'll have to update manually as you're doing your quoting process, you or your VA. But another way to kind of make this process a lot easier to trigger the automation, the follow-up, is using Zapier. So for example, Zapier is kind of the glue between obviously your scheduling system and GoHighLevel. So what you can do is Zapier, new quote gets created, and it'll automatically push the the contact into the new pipeline as the quote sent pipeline, and that triggers everything else. The only thing is, once you get their quote link, because you create the new quote on BookingKoala, it gives you a link. You would just have to come into here and plug it into here, so it's on that contact. All right. So now let me show you what that looks like. We'll do test, okay? And you can test out what your automations look like by just coming down to here. You do +1 944 751 4502, and we'll send a text message. All right. And boom. So now you can see, yo, book your cleaning here, foo. This is it. Click on it, go straight to BookingKoala, man. So pretty awesome stuff, I think. And the same thing would apply to this email. It's gonna already give them the BookingKoala link. Same back here. All right, we're good with that. I'm just gonna delete this. Okay, so we have this structure now for the quote sent follow-up. I think this is a great automation idea to follow up with these quotes. That's like your lowest hanging fruit. You've already gotten to that point. So excellent idea from Demid. Now right here is a very important notion that he was saying, or kind of tip here, is the stop conditions. So what will happen sometimes is, for example, when I'm running meta ads, I see it a lot with my company. We run meta ads, and then maybe a few minutes later, that same contact is filling out our website form. So they're getting hit with the same automation right away. This is going to be the first kind of way to stop it, because he's having everybody come into this one automation. What you can do is come to settings at the top and do not allow re-entry. So if they come into here for one time, they'll never come back into here again, okay? And this way you're good, all right? Or you put stop on response from the workflow if they stop from it, but we already have that baked into the automation, so you don't have to worry about it. Another thing is too, maybe you want this to go out at specific times of the day. Let's say a lead contacts you or fills out your form at 2 a.m. Maybe you want that initial message to go out, right? But you don't want to send them a text again at 2 a.m. the next day and they feel bothered at that point. So I would recommend, a specific time, like I think 7 a.m. is fine. Most people are up, I would say, and like even 10:45, right? Otherwise, you can just have it running forever, just based off of what they said. Okay, cool. So very important, allow reentry, or disable allow reentry is gonna stop that same lead going into the same automation, depending on something like that. The last automation is the stop conditions. When something happens with your lead, for example, they become a booked client, we want to stop all the follow-up automations. Now with BookingKoala and GoHighLevel, Zapier is going to be your best friend. That's what's going to connect everything. And you can literally have BookingKoala trigger based off a new booking, have it find the contact in GoHighLevel. So you can come into here, right, and then hit the little co-pilot and just talk to it exactly how you want it to build, and find the contact within GoHighLevel. If it finds it, update them, their opportunity as booked in that new pipeline, the book stage, and once we do that, then we can have the finishing automation in Go High Level here, which is just pipeline stage changed right there in this pipeline, main sales, and pipeline stage is booked. So now they come into here, and then what we'll do is remove from workflow right here, remove from all workflows. That's a book client. There's not much else that we need to do with them at this point, so we don't want them getting more messages. Okay, and we'll save it to here. Right, we'll walk through here, like website form, for example. This is another automation already on his website. We're gonna come into here, and what this does is pretty much the same flow. Notifications, initial text, but let's throw them into his new pipeline that he wants, which is the new lead. And we'll just do, go like this. Okay, so now all his leads are gonna flow into this new pipeline. Same thing with the advertising lead management. I typically like to separate the tagging and the pipeline management in separate automations, but we'll go like here, main stage, pipeline, new lead, opportunity source. I would recommend putting the ad there, so you can do attribution. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay, we'll cancel this out. We're gonna do full name. All right, and we're gonna say meta ads, so he knows this is meta ads. And also, I would recommend putting the attribution. So now you can actually keep track of what ads they're looking at and what they're converting on. So you come here, okay, and then you have the ad ID, and it should show you the name of the ad that pops up. Let me just make sure you got the right one. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's also very important to know, because if you know what ad is converting the most, even though Facebook tells you, you can reiterate and get better results that way. So just want to do the same thing for Google pay-per-click. Okay, everything's going into one pipeline. All right, we're doing contact full name. Okay, we're doing Google pay-per-click. Local service ads is a little bit different. We can do an automation based off of LSA message ads. Otherwise, I would recommend getting a separate number within here, and that can be what you track LSA phone calls with, and then set up automations through there. So Google pay-per-click, and let's see here. We can do the same thing. The ad, it's a little bit different in that sense. So okay, cool. We're good. All right, so now that's gonna flow into here. I'm also just gonna change these. Oh, while I'm here, sorry, jumping around a lot. I mean, if you're watching this far, really appreciate it, man. This is like an hour long already. I'm kind of losing track of what I'm recording. But I wanted to show you this. These automations, they flow together, and you kind of already saw that with how you can remove a workflow, but you can also add them to other workflows just right away without having to do a trigger. You can just add them to things. So for example, add to lead nurture workflow, right? And we can just put them here to, let's say, the new lead 14-day follow-up if we wanted to. The only problem with the way this is built right now is that within that workflow, we already have like the opportunity section, like setting up the opportunity, setting up the notification. So I'll have to talk to Demead on how he wants that built, but I would recommend, that's why I recommend having an initial lead management automation. That'll handle the tagging, where we're putting them in the pipeline notification, and then the next automation here, let me go to the lead nurture. This is where the actual follow-up takes place. You see there's no trigger because it's starting in that first lead management, and now it's flowing into here where it's gonna do the follow-up, okay? And then while I'm here, you see here the company owner name and team name. So we'll back out and make any changes there. All right, this is gonna be in your custom value section. So again, you can create your own custom values to make things a lot easier when building automations and things like that. So for example, company name, just come to edit, and it'll be Elevate Pro Clean, I believe. Elevate Pro Clean. Okay, for example, you can obviously change that. Don't hate me. And then the owner name. So now, again, every time we use this custom value, the company name, this is gonna pop up. So it makes things way easier, okay? So let's back out. And I think that's about it. So we have the stage-based automation. You can see that we built some automations based off of his pipeline. When you're trying to figure out what automations to build, again, I recommend just think about what is that first trigger, what is that thing that's going to set off everything, what do you want to happen in the meantime, and then how does it flow? Does it flow into a different automation, or does it cut off right there? Do you want it to stop after people do something? Here's another quick automation to build, definitely important to have. This is going to be essentially like the last one I did. Hold on. So you can delete the workflow, right? Let's delete it. I know I'm jumping around, but we just did pipeline stage book, remove all workflows, right? So that's based off of the pipeline stage. I just want to duplicate that workflow, right? We already have pretty much the structure that we want. It's just gonna be different, okay? So it's gonna be right here, copy. So now instead of the book stage, my computer froze. Now instead of the book stage, what we want is the not interested lost stage. Now, I wouldn't necessarily abandon somebody who's just not interested at this time. We could probably just put them into a long-term nurture, sending them a text every month, every 2 months, email with offers and more information about your business. But let's just say, for example, this stage was let's say this stage was do not disturb. They said stop, okay? Legally, if they say stop over text, you can't text them anymore, okay? And I believe Go High Level, it's pretty much automatic where they won't do it. So just to help out, you can do like this, enable D&D, which would be outbound, and just disable it for, let's say, for just text, right? They said stop, but maybe you can still call them or something. So we'll do enable D&D. Maybe you want to tag them as D&D. This way you can sort them a lot easier, right? This way you have when you're in your contact section, you can sort them. That's a different video, like talking about contacts, but enable D&D and remove them from all workflows because they're not interested, or more specifically, they said don't call us again. But if they're just not interested, maybe they're lost, we can do something like this. We'll just remove them from all workflows. Okay, I'm gonna change this. Not interested. Lost, remove from all workflows. Okay, remove from all workflows. And then maybe we add them into the other workflow I mentioned, like a long-term nurture sequence in here, right? Like just as an example, I click it like that. So it removes them from everything else, like that initial follow-up, and throws them into a long-term nurture sequence to try to win them back, like a win-back campaign. So that is what we're looking at for these automations. Again, if you use my affiliate link, you're already gonna have a lot of these automations set up for you. Operations, advertising lead management for Meta and Google pay-per-click, commercial cleaning, cold calling. So I already have something like, based off of the pipeline changes, you put them into send email. It's gonna send them a email drip for months if you're into commercial cleaning, as well as some recruiting automations. I also, like this, can create you custom automations based off what you want. You just gotta reach out to me. Yeah, hopefully you like this video. Hopefully it gave more insight on building automations in Go High Level, as well as the pipeline stages. Hopefully it wasn't too long and unbearable, but I really love this stuff. It's kind of like that glue, that modern glue. Like, we can build our businesses based off of these automations and lower the amount of manual work. So I find it really cool. It's probably my favorite part about business and systems nowadays. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, put it down in the comments, man, or reach out to me. Talk to you soon. Bye.